And the people complained in the hearing of the Lord about their misfortunes. And when the Lord heard it, his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burned among them, and consumed some outlying parts of the camp. Then the people cried to Moses, and Moses prayed to the Lord, and the fire abated. So the name of that place was called Taberah, because of the fire of the Lord burned among them. Now the rabble that was among them had a strong craving. And the people of Israel also wept again, and said, Oh, that we had meat to eat! We remember the fish we ate in Egypt for nothing, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our strength is dried up, and there is nothing at all but this manna to look at. Now the manna was like coriander seed, and its appearance like that of gum resin. The people went about and gathered it, and ground it in mills, or beat it in mortars, and boiled it in pots, and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was like the taste of cakes baked with oil. When the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell with it. Moses heard the people weeping throughout their families, every man at the door of his tent, and the anger of the Lord blazed hotly, and Moses was displeased. Moses said to the Lord, Why have you dealt ill with your servant, and why have I not found favor in your sight, that you lay the burden of all this people upon me? Did I conceive all this people? Did I bring them forth, that you should say to me, Carry them in your bosom, as a nurse carries the sucking child, to the land which you swore to give their fathers? Where am I to get meat to give all this people? For they weep before me and say, Give us meat that we may eat. I am not able to carry all this people alone. The burden is too heavy for me. If you will deal thus with me, kill me at once, if I find favor in your spirit, that I may not see my wretchedness. And the Lord said to Moses, Gather for me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them to the tent of meeting, and let them take their stand there with you, and I will come down and talk with you there. And I will take some of the Spirit which is upon you, and put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with you, that you may not bear it yourself alone. And say to the people, Consecrate yourselves for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat. For you have wept in the hearing of the Lord, saying, Who will give us meat to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you meat, and you shall eat. You shall not eat 1 day, or 2 days, or 5 days, or 10 days, or 20 days, but a whole month, until it comes out at your nostrils, and becomes loathsome to you, because you have rejected the Lord who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, Why did we come forth out of Egypt? But Moses said, The people whom I am number 600,000 on foot, and you have said, I will give them meat, that they may eat a whole month. Shall flocks and herds be slaughtered for them, to satisfy them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them, to satisfy them? And the Lord said to Moses, Is the Lord's hand shortened? Now you shall see whether my word will come true for you or not. So Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and he gathered 70 men of the elders of the people, and placed them round about the tent. Then the Lord came down in the cloud, and spoke to him, and took some of the Spirit that was upon him, and put it upon the 70 elders. And when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied, but they did so no more. Now 2 men remained in the camp, one named Eldad, and the other named Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them. They were among those registered, but they had not gone out to the tent, and so they prophesied in the camp. And a young man ran and told Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. And Joshua the son of Nun, the minister of Moses, one of his chosen men, said, My lord Moses, forbid them. But Moses said to him, Are you jealous for my sake? Would that the Lord's people were prophets, that the Lord would put his Spirit upon them. And Moses and the elders of Israel returned to the camp. And there went forth a wind from the Lord, and it brought quails from the sea, and let them fall beside the camp about a day's journey on this side, and a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and about 2 cubits above the face of the earth. And the people rose all that day and all night, and all the next day, and gathered the quails. He who gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. While the meat was yet between their teeth, before it was consumed, the anger of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord struck the people with a very great plague. Therefore the name of that place was called Kibroth Havatha, because there they buried the people who had the craving. From Kibroth Havatha the people journeyed to Hazeroth, and they remained at Hazeroth. Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Cushite woman whom he had married, for he had married a Cushite woman. And they said, Has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us also? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek, more than all men that were on the face of the earth. And suddenly the Lord said to Moses and to Aaron and Miriam, Come out, you three, to the tent of meeting. And the three of them came out. And the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud, and stood at the door of the tent, and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forward. And he said, Hear my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, make myself known to him in a vision. I speak with him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is entrusted with all my house. With him I speak mouth to mouth, clearly, and not in dark speech. And he beholds the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And when the cloud removed from over the tent, behold, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. And Aaron turned towards Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said to Moses, O my Lord, do not punish us, because we have done foolishly and have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the fleshes have consumed, when he comes out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried to the Lord, Heal her, O God, I beg you. But the Lord said to Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, should she not be shamed 7 days? Let her be shut up outside the camp 7 days, and after that she may be brought in again. So Miriam was shut up outside the camp 7 days, and the people did not set out on the march till Miriam was brought in again. After that the people set out from Hazeroth, and encamped in the wilderness of Paran. The Lord said to Moses, Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I give to the sons of Israel. From each tribe of their fathers shall you send a man, every one a leader among them. So Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran, according to the command of the Lord, all of them men who were heads of the sons of Israel, and these were their names. From the tribe of Reuben, Shammua, the son of Zakur. From the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Hori. From the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. From the tribe of Issachar, Igal, the son of Joseph. From the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, the son of Nun. From the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, the son of Raphu. From the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Zodai. From the tribe of Joseph, that is, from the tribe of Manasseh, Gadai, the son of Susi. From the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali. From the tribe of Asher, Sether, the son of Michael. From the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, the son of Vophshi. From the tribe of Gad, Guel, the son of Maki. These were the names of the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Hoshea, the son of Nun, Joshua. Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, Go up into the Negeb yonder, and go up into the hill country, and see what the land is, and whether the people who dwell in it are strong or weak, whether they are few or many, and whether the land that they dwell in is good or bad, and whether the cities that they dwell in are camps or strongholds, and whether the land is rich or poor, and whether there is wood in it or not. Be of good courage, and bring some of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the season of the first ripe grapes. To the choir master, according to the dove on far-off terebinths, a Mitkam of David, when the Philistines seized him in Gath. Have mercy on me, O God, for men trample upon me. All the day long foes oppress me. My enemies trample upon me all day long, for many fight against me proudly. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you, in God, whose word I praise. In God I trust without a fear. What can flesh do to me? All day long they seek to injure my cause. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They band themselves together, they lurk, they watch my steps, as they have waited for my life. So recompense them for their crime, in wrath cast down the peoples, O God. You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Then my enemies will be turned back in the day when I call. This I know, that God is for me. In God, whose word I praise. In the Lord, whose word I praise. In God I trust, without a fear. What can man do to me? My vows to you I must perform, O God. I will render thank offerings to you, for you have delivered my soul from death. Yes, my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of life. And they came to Bethsaida, and some people brought to him a blind man, and begged him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand, and led him out of the village. And when he had spit on his eyes, and laid his hands upon him, he asked him, Do you see anything? And he looked up and said, I see men, but they look like trees, walking. Then again he laid his hands upon his eyes, and he looked intently, and was restored, and saw everything clearly. And he sent him away to his house, saying, Do not even enter the village. And Jesus went on with his disciples to the villages of Caesarea Philippi, and on the way he asked his disciples, Who do men say that I am? And they told him, John the Baptist, and others say Elijah, and others one of the prophets. And he asked them, But who do you say that I am? Peter answered him, You are the Christ. And he charged them to tell no one about him. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected by the elders, and the chief priests and the scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. And he said this plainly. And Peter took him and began to rebuke him. But turning and seeing his disciples, he rebuked Peter and said, Get behind me, Satan, for you are not on the side of God, but of men. But he called to him the multitude with his disciples, and said to them, If any man would come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel's will save it. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his life? For what can a man give in return for his life? For whoever is ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him will the Son of Man also be ashamed, when he comes in the glory of his Father with his holy angels. Often we're all too ready to tell God how we think he should do things. We become dissatisfied and we rebel against his plan. This is just what happens several times in Numbers chapters 11 through 12. The people complain about their woes. The rabble weep because they're sick of manna. A young man tattles on Eldad and Medad for prophesying, and Aaron and Miriam object to Moses' unique authority. It's no different in the gospel. When Jesus reveals that his way leads to suffering and death, Peter tries to correct him. If Jesus' response seems harsh, we should consider what is at stake: God's plan for the world's salvation. For St. Peter to oppose Jesus is to reject the Lord who is among us. It is to take on the role of Satan. Jesus demands that we get behind him by denying ourselves, taking up our cross, and following him. We can only do that by trusting God so deeply that fear is overcome. God will be faithful. He pays loving attention to our suffering, and he will deliver our souls from death. What in your life do you need to deny to give yourself more fully to God's plan?